everybody, welcome back. It's episode 33 of Quail's Knitting Nest. I'm Janet.
I'm Joy. It's good to have you here today with us.
It's a beautiful day. We have sweaters on.
Picture perfect fall day here in southeastern Pennsylvania. Beautiful.
What are you wearing, Joy?
Today I have a sweater that I made in 2017. It's called Victoria by Mags Kandis. It's from this book, Mission Falls. It's called Kintigh Scrapbook. And this is an older book. The original, here's a picture of, it's the purple one there. And the original was a drop shoulder, and I modified it to be set in sleeve. And I used Tacky Yarns Donegal Tweed Homespun, which is kind of a, it has memory in it, in that I acquired this yarn from our good knitting friend, Sue Zazensky. It was out of her stash. She had bought it, I think, when she was in Ireland. And I inherited it. But I love, this is that little vine lace pattern, which I just love. And I'm so happy I was able to make a sweater out of it. I'll stand up so you can see the bottom. The lace pattern makes this nice little scalloped edge. Just love it. And like I do with a lot of my sweaters, I made the back a little bit longer than the front. And I'll show you the back side. It's just plain.
So pretty. It's one of my favorite sweaters.
It's a heavier yarn though. It's an Aran weight, but since it's white, I wanted it to be a lighter,
open.
Yeah, and that's why I did it with the lace work, because I wanted to be able to wear it on warmer days, even though it's a heavy yarn. And it's
a little rustic.
Yeah, it's rustic. Definitely not your superwash merino, but I like it.
It's beautiful.
So yeah, what do you have on?
It looks great too.
Thanks.
I am wearing the Foxtrot Cardigan by Greene. I made this in May 2019, and I used Manos del Uruguay yarn. It was Rittenhouse, which is discontinued. I bought this out of the sale room at the yarn gallery, of course. So at the time when I used it, it was deep stash. It's a semi-solid. I'll stand up. It's a cardigan. I think I bought the yarn in like 2008. And it does have the design in the back also. It doesn't have, pattern didn't call for buttonholes or any type of closure. So I found this, it's Jewel Designs. If you can see this, it's a leather closure. There it is. It's like an S shape. And these little silver beads just turn, screw off, untwist.
Okay. And you just put it through the yarn?
Yeah, I'll
through
take
the fabric?
I'll try to take it out. Okay.
So what's it?
So I bought this actually in Napa Valley when we were on vacation.
Oh.
I found a little yarn shop, and she had a big collection of these Jewel.
Oh.
This was maybe 10 years ago, so you can see what it looks like. So I unscrewed the one side. So there's actual little, that's the post that you screw into, and there's the screw.
So
and
it's
you just
kind
put
of
it
like
through the knitting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
you just put it through the knitting.
Oh.
You don't need, especially, well, this was, I used larger needles on this. I think I used a size 8 because this is worsted weight. And so then you just put the screw part in the back and put it through the leather and put the top piece on, close it up.
Okay.
Twist it up.
Nice. And I like the way you had it there, closed over like that. It's nice looking.
What have you finished?
Last time I showed you, I was starting these socks for my daughter, and I finished them. These are the I Love Gansey socks by Janine Le Cras. And I used Wildfoote, brown sheep Wildfoote yarn. And I'm really happy with how they turned out. They're perfect. So that's nice. And then one thing I finished is from our trip. We just got back from New Jersey Sheep and Fiber, and we bought some things, which we'll show you later. But one of them I already used and finished a little project with, and this is my little baby sweater. Here's the back. This is Fiber Stash Dye Works. This is a dyer that I didn't know before. I saw her for the first time at New Jersey. She's from Vermont.
Oh, is that where she's from?
And she had gorgeous yarns there. This is worsted weight. 2 colors. The green, which I love the name of this green color. It's called You're a Mean One. And then the multi, the white speckle multi is called Band Candy. The pattern I used is called the Happy Baby Crewneck Sweater, and it's by Frank Jernigan. He is a knitwear designer who specializes in seamless top-down set and sleeve construction. And the Happy Baby Crewneck Sweater is free on his website as an example of, you can test the waters of how to work his construction by doing this, because it's a free pattern. And the way it works is you start at the shoulders, you cast on the shoulder stitches, and then you knit down, and then you knit the second shoulder, that little piece, and then you cast on along the back, and you work this first green stripe section you can see in the back. That's all you work, and then you stop. And then you go back to the shoulder and you pick up the front and you knit down on both sides, knit down. And then you start working, I forget. You start working back and forth, and you're gradually casting on stitches at the neck edge. And then when you get to the bottom of this green stripe, this is where you then knit along and pick up over the shoulder, and you go, this is where it all connects. So you knit along, pick up over the shoulder, go across the back, pick up on the second shoulder, go across the front, and then where the white speckle stripe is where you just start knitting all in one piece from the top down. So it's an interesting construction, a little different. And I'm considering using it for a sweater for myself to see how it works. But this is really cool, and it's really soft. Here, feel it. It's really soft.
It's beautiful yarn.
Luscious yarn.
Really beautiful.
It's 100% superwash merino, and on the band label it says not to machine wash it. But I did it anyway because this is for a baby, because I wanted to see how it would turn out. So I machine washed it and I machine dried it, and it looks beautiful.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Very cute.
that's what I have finished. How about you? What do you have finished?
I finished 2 pairs of socks that I've been showing the past couple of podcasts. This is the Gentle Breeze, made with the Toad Hollow yarns. Toad sock.
See, hold it up close. Maybe they can see the stitch pattern.
It's hard to see because of that. It would be better with
A solid.
a solid, but that's the yarn I wanted to use immediately. So anyway, and I finished my vanilla latte self-striping.
Oh yeah.
Biscotte fibers.
Those are beautiful.
Yeah, I like, these are so soft.
And I love the
I can't wait to
striping.
wear them.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, just last night, I finished my
Hot
last
off the
clue.
press.
My last clue.
Fresh off the needles.
Casapinka's Snark-o-meter.
Yay, it's done.
Now it's not blocked. It's curling on the edges, so I'm gonna have to use my blocking wires for sure for this, because I'd like to stretch it out quite a bit. Since it's only 50 inches long, I used smaller needles than called for, than Casapinka called for. She called for size 6 needles, and I use size 4 because when I tried the 5 and the 6, it was just too open. I didn't like the fabric. So I'm just going to do some good stretching when I wet block it.
But you said it is wide enough, right?
It's wide enough. It's what she called for.
So your width was correct. It's
Yeah,
just the length
the length.
is short.
And she did say that you could lengthen the last 3 parts of the clue, but I wanted to keep it even. So I'll just block. But I'm very happy with it. I like my colors, and it's lighter because there's a lot of bamboo in it. It's bamboo and wool
I love
mixes.
these colors too.
Yeah.
I really like
Matches
the way you
looks
put them
nice with
together.
what you have on.
And you too. It
Yeah,
goes
the
with
Goldie.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
So I enjoy Casapinka's knit-alongs, but I think that this will be my last knit-along for a while. I was thinking of doing Stephen West next week, but I'm not because it's 5 skeins of fingering, and I need to get some other projects done.
Oh, so you have.
I have other plans, so
Okay.
I think I'm going to stop
You're gonna
with
have
the
to resist.
mysteries as much as I like them. And that's it. That's it.
Well, speaking of knit-alongs, which I don't do very often, what I'm working on now is Knitter's Day Out. Is
Oh yeah.
they're not meeting this. It would have been like last weekend, would have been the usual Knitter's Day Out event. And they decided back in the spring not to have it. And we were all kind of waiting all summer, like, is it going to be virtual? You know, what's going on? And then finally, just last week, we got the email saying that they had redone their website and then added a few videos, and they're doing a knit-along. And it's an Afghan. So it's a block a month for 12 months. So it's a 12 block Afghan. And the hope is that everyone will make the blocks and then bring their finished Afghans next year to Knitter's Day Out to show. So the first block just went up and I started it.
Oh, I like that.
This is,
Oh, that's a good size too.
yeah, they're 12-inch blocks.
Oh, that's heavy.
This is very heavy, yeah. So it's like a rhombus pattern, they call it. The yarn I'm using is the same yarn I used for my niece's poncho.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I'll just throw up a picture here of her poncho. I made this a while back for her. My sister ordered this kit from Ireland because she's Irish. Not my sister, but her husband is Irish. And they went to Ireland and they saw all these ponchos hanging in the markets there. And my sister came home and was like, "Oh, could you make her a poncho?" So she ordered a sweater kit and I just converted it into a poncho. The yarn is from Kerry Woolen Mills and it's called Aran wool. So it's a heavy 3-ply and it's also rustic like this.
Very.
And the pattern just has a regular cast on, but I did a provisional cast
I was
on
just
here
going to
at the
ask you
bottom
about that. Yes.
because these are going to be squares and I wanted to graft them together so that there's no seam.
It's easier. Yes.
And I'll do the same thing at the top. I'll just leave the stitches live and it should block out nice. So they're 12-inch squares. So it'll be 36 inches wide and 48 inches long is the final blanket. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, it will take a whole year. But I mean, each block, I mean, I just started this yesterday. I'm already halfway done the first block. So these will be quick to make and it'll be like nothing. It'll just take a whole year.
So
to
what
get it
other
together.
yarn are you using? Do
Well,
you have
this-
enough of that for the whole?
No.
Okay.
I have enough of this for 2 blocks.
Okay.
And I'm basically going to be dash diving. I have a bunch
All different
of
colors and all.
I have a lot of natural color, this color. So I'm going to make quite a few blocks in this natural color. It'll just be different yarns. And then I have a few odd colored skeins that I'll throw in when I run out of the white.
And you have that
So-
weight in your stash?
Well, this is
you think?
Aran weight. I'm knitting it at 4.5 stitches to the inch.
Oh,
So I can always do a looser gauge on a worsted or I also have fingering, which I can double.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of
That's what I was
options,
wondering,
and
yeah.
I don't think it'll be an issue. I think I have plenty of stash to
You'll
cover
figure it out, I'm sure.
Yeah, and this will be. I mean, I did do the mitered square blanket before, but this will be my first like patch blanket
Really?
that I've ever done. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I've never done one of these before.
Oh,
I know you and a bunch of your
I
friends
have quite a few, yeah.
have done them, but I haven't.
The worst part is sewing it together, but
Right.
it's good that you did this provisional. I was curious to see what you were going to do because the block one that I made, I had to pick up the stitches to use for the three. I did a 3 needle bind off in between, so that'll make it a lot easier.
Yeah, and then I won't have the bulk of a seam there, also. So that's what I'm working on. Are you working on anything right now?
I am. I didn't bring it because there's not much progress. It's the Mercedes sweater by Isabel Kramer. I'm doing it in the Nightshades by Harrisville Yarns. I did have the back tab or rectangle completed last time, and all I did was part of the front because it's coming down from the shoulders. You have to do one side, then the next, then the back, and then join it all in one and knit down in one piece. So that's the only thing that I have on the needles now because I just finished the socks and the Casapinka knit along. So
wow, that's unusual.
So
'cause
now
you usually have a bunch
I'm excited.
Of things. Yeah, startitis or
I
whatever
have
they call it.
a long list of what I could do.
That's kind
That's
of
about it.
exciting.
And you have I see you have a sock in progress here.
Oh yeah. Well, I finished the socks for my daughter, so now I started a new pair of socks. And this is
I like that color.
Madeline Tosh Twist Light, nice burgundy. Or actually, it's more maroon, I guess.
And that's your
Maroon
mindless
color.
knitting
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Knit 2, purl 1 for almost 8 inches, 7.5, 8 inches. So we just went to the New Jersey Sheep and Fiber Festival. It was at the beginning of September. It was such a fun day. The weather was perfect.
Beautiful, just beautiful.
It was like mid-70s, mid to upper 70s. You think it was
80s.
warmer than that?
I thought it was pretty much low 80s, I think it was.
Okay.
It was just warmer in the barns.
Yeah, it was hot in the barns, but there was a nice cool breeze blowing. So if, once you stepped out of the barns, you
get the
cooled-
crosswinds,
Yeah,
it's
you
good.
cooled right off. Yeah, it was definitely not like an August day.
No.
It was more, it
No.
was a true September day. It was beautiful. The sun was out. It was gorgeous.
It was nice to be out in the air.
It was. Yeah. And for I'd never been to this before, and you had been once before.
2 years ago.
It was, for me, I consider it to be the perfect size.
I do too. I really liked it
There
the
were-
first time I went.
2 barns of like animals and sort of
And judging. And,
miscellaneous
yeah.
things. Oh yeah, one was a show ring. And then there were 2 barns of vendors. And that was just the perfect size.
and they had
'Cause you-
sheep herding too. I'm sorry. They had sheep herding outside that we watched for quite a while.
Yeah, the dogs.
Those dogs are amazing.
The dog's
border
running
collies.
around, his tongue is hanging on the ground.
Go ahead, Joy. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. But so because there were only 2 barns of vendors, you could go in and walk around, and you had plenty of time to go back. And there was a real nice variety of vendors. Some people have the superwash that everyone likes. Other people had more natural fibers. There's a pottery
I was
place
just
and
gonna
a
say
bead
pottery.
place.
That's right.
Different things. So it was a nice mix of vendors, and it was a nice size. I would definitely go back.
And it was easy to walk around. With all the cars we saw parked in the field, I thought it would be jam-packed, but it wasn't. There was enough room to walk around. A couple of the stands were kind of crowded, but most of them you could really move around easily.
Yeah, and a lot of people were leaving even as we got there.
Yes.
Because it's a smaller event. It doesn't take as long. You don't need to spend the entire day there. So I think that helped with the crowds as well. Yeah.
I like it there because quite a few of my favorite vendors are there. And as a result,
We have things to show you.
We have many acquisitions. I hadn't bought anything knitting related for months, quite a few months. And that was the first yarn event that I went to in a couple of years.
Yeah.
I think the last one was actually the New Jersey. I think it was the New Jersey Sheep.
No, we went to Rhinebeck.
Was that after
2019?
Okay, so that was right after the New Jersey one that I went. Okay.
And did you go to Vogue that year?
No.
No. Okay.
It was an ice storm.
Oh, all right.
And we had to cancel. So, you know, that was the first yarn event. And it was a lot of fun.
We did have our knit out that year because that was in January.
We did. And the next day I was supposed to go to Vogue, but it was the roads were too icy.
Okay.
Yeah. So we could get started.
Yeah. What did I get? I already told you about this, which is a superwash, but normally I'm not a superwash person. So when I go and I went intending, this was the one thing on my list that I wanted to get because I knew I wanted to make this baby sweater because it's more for my friend. She's having a grandson in October. And I'm actually just scheduled to get together with her so I can give it to her. Other than that, I didn't have any plans to buy anything when I got there, although I knew the one person that I wanted to see was going to be there from Liverpool Yarns, and I didn't know what I was going to get from her, but I did buy from her. Liverpool, here's the tag. It's kind of small, you can't really see it. But she imports Shetland fiber, and it's already been dyed. So she imports dyed Shetland fiber from the British Isles. And then here in Pennsylvania, she spins it up and then she sells it. So I got these 3 colors of fingering, and I'm planning on making a hat. Oh shoot, I forgot to write down what the name of the hat is, but I'll put it down here and maybe insert a picture too. The owner, Erika Flory, she's the one who designed the hat, and I had seen it quite a few years ago back at Knitter's Day Out or Allentown, one of those, and really liked the hat. So I've been planning on making it for a while. So when I saw she had nice colors, I just picked a few, and I will make that sooner or later.
She had beautiful colors.
She did.
She didn't have a lot of yarn, but what she had was really beautiful.
And before she was just selling the naturals. She only had the browns and the whites and the grays and the blacks. And only recently has she added the colors to her supply. And she had, like, I called it a rainbow. So
very pretty.
One of basically every color.
And it feels nice too. It's
right.
not
it's not as
overly rustic.
Yeah, it's not as rustic as this. And
it does feel nice.
I have used this yarn previously, and when I blocked it, it softened up as well. So it's not nearly as scratchy as you might think.
That's Shetland wool.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to using that.
Very pretty.
What'd you get? Start us off with something.
Are we taking turns?
Yeah, we'll take turns.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, I went to my favorite vendor, Chelsea Yarns. And I even have, when you make a purchase, they give you a lovely bag. Chelsea
That's
Yarns.
a pretty nice swag.
I love it.
And you didn't even have to make a minimum purchase,
Nope,
right?
every time you purchase, you get one. I have 2 from 2 years ago when I went. Okay, so at Chelsea Luxe, I was looking for this. This is called her duet. It's Luxe Cobblestone and Luxe Mohair, and it's mohair silk. And this color is driftwood. It's one of her new colors. It's a pale gray, very muted. It does have a hint of pink in it, maybe a little bit of blue. And
so that's 2 yarns, right?
this is
There's
2
a mohair
different yarns
yarn
wound together.
and a cobblestone yarn, or a cobble
I
yarn.
could take it out. Let's
Well,
see.
you don't have to.
I'll take it out because I'm going to be winding it very soon. So she
Okay.
has 2 hanks
And they're just
wound
put
together.
up together, I see. So it's the same colorway in
Yep.
two different
The
fibers.
cobblestone is a nubby fiber.
And then the mohair.
silk. Feel her silk. Isn't it
I know,
pretty? It's really a pretty
definitely has
mohair. I
very
just love her
soft-
bases. And I actually have a pattern for this. This is actually what I'll be starting next. It's called Painted Pebble Shawls by the Forest City Knit Girls. It's one of my podcasts that I watch. And she actually used that exact yarn. Yeah, the slub. Is it from Chelsea? Oh no, it's from Leo and Roxy. Never mind. But it is a slub yarn
Paired with a
and
mohair.
paired with another yarn. So I'm gonna try that.
So hers,
like the
hers
look
are
of that.
two very different shades.
Contrasting.
But yours are very close.
Mine's gonna be very muted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be all
This
the,
way.
the textural differences between the two yarns.
And also from Chelsea Lux, I bought her fingering weight, and this is another new color of hers. It's called Pinkoflage, like camouflage, but Pinkoflage.
Oh yeah, because it has the greens.
It has
in
the
there,
green,
too,
yeah, like the khaki green and the pink. And this is her fingering weight, 400 yards. But this is the superwash merino cashmere and nylon.
Oh.
I especially like this one with the cashmere. And I bought the matching mohair. This has more shades in it though. Isn't that pretty with the purple?
Mm-hmm.
This is also the pink
Pink
oflage. And it's 72 kid mohair and 28 silk. That has a little bit more color to it.
It does. Maybe because the
Yeah.
mohair absorbs the dye differently.
Isn't that pretty? I'll probably make a color
So you
with
made
this.
your own duet out of these two
Yes.
skeins.
Mm-hmm. Without the cobblestone. She also, I didn't buy it, but she had a collaboration with Sandy by the Lakeside with this color, this Pinkoflage. Sandy by the Lakeside makes leather knitting bags.
Leather.
Leather.
Oh.
And the leather that she used, I don't know how, was in this color. She did like a camouflage, but with the pink, just like this yarn.
Oh.
So they did a collaboration. So the display, of course, was lovely in the booth with her leather bag. But I didn't buy the leather bag. I got my free bag. Okay, so that's it for Chelsea.
Okay, and one other thing that I bought, this is Marinated Yarns. Marinated Yarns. Now I had heard of her before, but I had never looked at what she had. And a lot of what she had was superwash. However, she had a rack of non-superwash. This is not merino. This is BFL, Blue Face Leicester. And
It's
I
really
just
nice.
love the color. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think it's showing pretty well there on camera. So it's a mix of reds and blues, a little bit of green. I just love I fell in love with the colors. And plus I love BFL. It's one of my favorite fibers to knit with, and it's not that, you can't really find it.
No, you can't.
Merino is everywhere, but BFL is a little tough. This is the colorway's called Forestscape.
Oh, it's
It
DK.
also says Cooper NSW, but I'm not sure what that means. Because it also says 100% BFL.
Well, non-superwash?
Right. Non-superwash.
Cooper.
Yeah, I don't know what the
non-superwash.
Cooper means. Maybe that's a...
There's Cooper
maybe-
sheep.
Yeah. Maybe... I
But
don't know.
BFL, I don't know.
Anyway, it's DK weight, BFL, dyed in her gorgeous colorway. So I had to
Forestscape.
scoop this up. And Janet made a comment. She's like, 2 skeins? And I was thinking about it later. I was like, well, I feel like you have more flexibility if you buy 2 than if you just
Definitely.
get 1.
Especially with the DK.
So 1 is like, what do you do with 1? But 2,
Right.
you have a little bit more flexibility in what you can do with it.
Yep.
So that's why I was buying, I ended up with 3 of the Liverpool because that's what the pattern called for.
You need 3 colors in.
But this, everything else I bought 2 skeins of. So I'm really happy with this. I have no idea what I'm going to make with it, but I really like the yarn.
She had a really nice booth. A lot of yarn. That was a big
It was a
She had a
big.
double booth actually.
Oh, was it?
I think it was a double.
I know it was big, but
But
I
I
didn't.
always like her colors.
Mhm.
They're just gorgeous.
Yeah. And what else do you have?
Okay, and then I went to my other favorite vendor, Toad Hollow.
Oh yeah, told her.
I got to meet the ladies in person. I watch their podcast all the time. And I bought a mini set. These are 6 20-gram skeins of their fingering. And it's 80/20 marine superwash. Merino. And this collection was called Halloween at the Hollow. And they wrote a story about this.
Oh, they wrote their own
They
little
wrote
story
their own
about it?
story because normally they use books, whatever, Alice in Wonderland, whatever, as their inspiration for their colors that they dye. But aren't these pretty? These are
And that's so catchy.
pretty.
Halloween at the Hollow.
Yep, the toads. So these are the colors.
I love this orangey one.
They're really pretty. So, at another stand, we saw a sample of a shawl called Maryland.
No, it's called
Oh, wait. Oh, no.
Cloudbreak.
Cloudbreak.
Is
Oh,
the name of the shawl.
isn't that something?
Maryland
that's right.
is the name
it's
of the
her
person.
company. Yeah, that's right. Because it's, yes, that's right. That's right, Maryland. Yep. Okay. So it's called Cloudbreak.
By Maryland.
It's funny. It's not anywhere else. Just that little, but it was Cloudbreak. That's right.
Yep.
Okay. So this is a picture of it. Whoops. Let's see. And this is by Melanie Berg, which it doesn't even say that on here either. That's something. Okay. So I went into my stash and thought, well, what can I put together with all these minis? Because I thought this was the perfect pattern for it because it requires 11 10-gram skeins. I have 6 20-gram skeins, so that should be just right. So I had to find a solid. So I went into my stash and I found this green, which I think is going to pair well
It does. It goes perfect.
with that. I was thinking off-white, and then I thought, no, there's too much off-white in some of these. It's going to blend too much and it won't show.
Yep.
So I wanted a contrast. So this is an old stash again from the Yarn Gallery. It's Araucania's Ranco, R-A-N-C-O. So I have 2 of these, which should be just about right to do this. I like when I have a pattern to go with the yarn I just bought. So those
That's
2
gonna
will
be
be
beautiful.
started.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful.
And then I have, I had no intentions to buy this, but this just attracted me.
It was
CC's
calling across the
yes.
way. Come here, come here.
This is CC's wool. I had seen this many times before. Let's see, that's better. There we go. CC's wool. And I just thought the color was gorgeous. Because it's fall, I usually get attracted by the color of the season.
She had a whole tree right
The setup,
as you're
yes, it
walking
was
past
beautiful.
it, all in this color of different bases. Yeah.
So it says beautiful yarn expertly dyed in the colors of upstate New York. And, of course, this is also attracted me. The name of the color is Oh Rhinebeck, We Miss You. So, of course.
Perfect name.
Yep. So this is superwash merino, 280 yards worsted weight. I usually don't buy worsted weight, but I think it's really soft. I love the way it feels. I think I'm going to make a cowl with this. Probably. And then, because I like the color so much, and when you're checking out, she has these little baskets of minis. There's no tags on either one, but this one has a little bit of sparkle in it. The same colorway, but it's fingering weight. I'm assuming it's superwash merino, and this is just a plain mini fingering, the same color. So I might use this as an accent.
Are they 50 grams? 25?
I think they're 20.
Oh, yeah.
They look like the. Let's see. No, maybe not.
Yeah, it looks bigger than
Looks
those
bigger.
20 grams.
I didn't weigh it. I'll have to weigh it. I assumed it was 20. But she didn't have signs or anything on these. These were just in pretty little baskets to attract you.
Maybe
Oh,
there were ends that she was, I don't know.
Maybe. Well, I think it'll be a pretty accent maybe around the neck of some sweater that I make.
Yeah.
Oh, and it has her address. Cece's Wool Farm Store, Guilderland, New York. Okay. A lot of my podcasts talk about her yarn, especially the New York State people.
I never heard of her before.
Yeah. So, okay. What else? Do you have something else?
The only other thing I have is beads that I bought. There was this beautiful bead booth there. She had
Want me to put it?
tons. Oh yeah, there we go. Bead Biz.
I bought beads too. Couldn't
She had
resist.
tons of beads. And sometimes when you go to bead places, you can't find beads that are suitable for using with
Right.
yarn. And she had
The 6mm. I can't find 6mm.
She had 3 racks, tons of beads that were the 6. And then she had 1 rack that was smaller that you could use for like lace weight or something. And I was just overwhelmed with the beads, so I bought a couple of specialty boxes. These are they're kind of oval shaped. You can kind of see it there. So they're not round or square, but they're sort of ovally shaped and they're odd, like on an angle. And I got one of a multicolor and then one of like pearlized. I have no idea what I'm going to do with them, but I really liked them.
Oh, they'll
so,
come in handy. They're always good to have
yeah.
if you want to add to a little shawl or something.
And I think maybe Carol, one of our friends, had used these wonky beads
did.
in something,
Mm-hmm.
and I was admiring them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got at the bead place. What'd you get at the bead place?
And my beads, I love them. These are white pearl beads.
Yeah, they'll go with anything.
That's for sure. And these are silver lined matte. And they say emerald, but I wouldn't call them emerald.
No, I wouldn't
They're more
either.
turquoise. I
Yeah.
would say they're true turquoise.
They're your color.
But they're pretty. They're the matte.
They're more green
They're
than
not
what it.
shiny.
They're more green than what it's
Yeah.
showing on camera. I think they're looking
Beautiful.
more blue on camera.
And then another matte. Blue matte silver lined beads. This is called Montana. I guess the blue skies of Montana, maybe.
That's a
This
beautiful
blue is stunning.
Yeah, it's gorgeous blue.
I know I have a lot of yarns with these colors in.
And they're kind of variegated. You know, when you buy like a
Mhm.
hand-dyed yarn, how variegated it is? The
Mhm.
beads are the same way.
That's a good point, yeah.
There's some darker, some lighter, and then some have like this almost iridescent hue to them.
That's because of the silver lining.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And this is a bronze lined crystal bead.
Oh, so the bronze part
Comes
is on the
through,
inside.
right. It's on the inside and it's a plain clear bead.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought these were very different.
Yeah.
She had such a good selection. Oh
She
my
did.
goodness.
Yeah,
We'll look for her.
it was overwhelming
sure.
how many
It
beads
was.
she had.
And I think her prices are good too.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. Well, the last time I bought beads was at Vogue Knitting. There was a beautiful bead stand. I don't know if it was her, but I used all those beads already. In her shawls.
Oh,
So
you're short on beads.
Also at Chelsea Luxe, I bought Pearly Smith freshwater pearl and copper stitch markers. They come in this pretty little tin.
They're beautiful.
I think these are just
Yeah.
gorgeous. I'll take the blue one out because it's better to see. So that's one. Blue, they're so cute.
They are.
And they have smaller rings, which I was looking for.
Oh,
Smaller.
yeah.
I don't know. This is a green one. I don't know if you can see. They're just irregular shaped pearls. And there's 6 of them in here.
They're beautiful.
And Chelsea Luxe also gave me from Katrinkles, who make these little wood stamped accessories, knitting accessories. But this is just a little ring. It says Chelsea Luxe, New Jersey Sheep and Fiber Festival 2021.
Oh, it's date stamped.
Yep.
So you know
they
exactly
gave me one of those.
when and where you got it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then that's it from Chelsea Luxe. And then 2 single skeins I just had to get from Yagagani Yarns. They always have nice yarns.
She
They were
has
always at
beautiful
Knitter's Day
yarns.
Out, right? Weren't they?
I don't
Yagagani?
remember.
I think
don't
so.
know.
And this is Woolly Yak,
Mm.
hand-dyed 3-ply fingering weight yarn. So it's 20 yak, 70 superwash merino, and 10 nylon 435 yards. And the color is Neptune. So, of course, it's one of my blues, pretty blues,
Yeah, it's a
teals.
beautiful blue.
This is gorgeous. And this, of course, I bought this because it was yak. That was my color. And then another stand where I just love, for some reason, this periwinkle color is attracting me. This is from, I never heard of them before, Seven Sisters Arts. I don't know. This is their Astrid Fingering. It's 70 superwash merino and 30 silk. This feels wonderful. This will definitely be a scarf around my neck. As you see, I go for more of the silky and soft yarns, less rustic, and she goes for the rustic. But yeah, this is pretty, 438 yards. So that's just something pretty. And that's it. Oh, I did make a stop at Pearls of Wisdom, one of our local yarn shops. Okay, so Pearls of Wisdom, one of our local yarn shops. She moved to a beautiful store. It's all hardwood floors, a couple of rooms. She has a nice selection of yarn, but she also has anything else you could think of. Spinning wheels, books, magazines, buttons, everything. Craft related. Well, not really. Knitting related, I guess. Crocheting related. But she had a sale Labor Day weekend. So I bought some Malabrigo. That's a reasonably priced yarn. This is a fingering, machine washable. What's my color? Ursula. 440 yards. It's 100% merino. So I bought 3 of this variegated color.
That's beautiful.
And 2 of this navy that matches it very well. That's Cote d'Azur. How do you say that? Cote d'Azur. Cote d'Azur.
Cote d'Azur?
Yeah. So I'm thinking of making Joji Locatelli's Elton sweater with it. It's striped. And she uses mohair, but I'm just going to use 2 different colors. This is kettle dyed pure superwash merino wool.
This is gorgeous.
Again, the colors. And I like Malabrigo.
This has speckles in it too, along with the... That's really pretty. Nice.
That's all my... No, that's not all.
But wait,
there's one more.
There's more.
There's one more. I saw this on one of my podcasts, one of my Canadian podcasts, which I can't think of the name right now. But they're Sage Valley knitting bags. I love the yarn balls. Oh, I know. It was the Grocery Girls. Okay. That's who it was. And some of them, you could see, are shiny. The copper one is shiny.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a heavy canvas bottom. Oh, no, this isn't canvas. I forget what this is like. It's a waxed canvas. That's what they called it. See, it feels different.
So
a waxed
water
canvas.
repellent.
Yep, on the bottom, the black is waxed canvas. It's a nice size. This is perfect for shawls, I think. It has heavy cotton, looks like canvas, inside. It's very well made. It doesn't have any pockets, but I just like the yarn balls. I just thought it was so pretty.
Yeah, it is pretty, and it's a nice size. Yeah.
It took me, I think it took 3 weeks to get it. It wasn't too bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've been talking about we're going to have a giveaway when we hit 100 subscribers. Today we are up to 81. So we broke the 80 mark.
Everybody subscribe if you haven't, please. Tell your friends.
The advantage to subscribing, you may be asking why would I want to subscribe? Well, the advantage is when you go to YouTube and you click the button that says subscriptions, then we'll pop up on that page. So you won't have to search us every time you go to want to watch our podcast. So it's advantageous for you to subscribe because it makes us easy to find. And then it's advantageous to us because the more subscribers, the better. Also, if you have any questions or comments about our episode, please feel free. Put them down in the comments field. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you are making or you are acquiring or what knitting events you are attending. We definitely like to hear from you. Yeah,
Right?
stay tuned to
Yeah,
see
so
the Fiber
wait to see.
Festival
Mm-hmm.
in person at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, so I guess that's it. So everybody, keep on knitting. Happy knitting. Enjoy the fall weather. Make your sweaters. It's sweater weather.
Yes, it is. Sweater weather.
That's all we keep hearing, sweater weather.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. See, there's the farm, Huntington County 4-H. There we go. That's it. Look at the colors. Really? Well, the next time. Yeah, only service dogs allowed.
Hi, everybody. We are here at the New Jersey Sheep and Fiber Festival. We're at the Hunterton County 4-H Fairgrounds, and we're going to show you around. Come on.